On this bright morning day, Rodolfo is optimistic that his day will be just as promising, until he is stung by a bee. Washing his pain away, he seeks solace in the only place that heals his soul, a palette full of paint and an empty canvas to lay his thoughts, until he is disturbed from a voice out of nowhere saying,
Huh? What did you say?
"You will never make money from art."
What do you mean I ain't gonna make money? Nah. Have you not seen my paintings? They're wonderful. They're great. Can't be talking about me. Maybe other people, other artists, but not me though. Let's talk deeper. Alright. So here's the truth that no one wants to tell you. That is, you ain't gonna make money as an artist. Not in the first few years anyhow. I know it sucks. I had to endure that for a very long time. So it's either you accept that fate now or you don't. Don't get me wrong, you can get money after a while, but towards the beginning it's going to be very difficult. And I just want you to understand that. Most of the times you're not going to make money. And don't get me wrong, you can get money at the beginning, but you're going to have to focus entirely your whole time and effort into building something that is scalable, a business, an actual strategy and a plan. And I would say that's the biggest mistake of most people. It's just that they don't actually have a strategy, they don't have a plan. It's just something that they're passionate about, it's something that they like, and then they get into it, and then that's it. Really, they don't have any 5-year plan, they don't have a 10-year plan, they don't have a 6-month plan, something to do right now. That's why most artists fail, unfortunately. Because at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, it is still a business. And if you want to make a living out of this, you're going to have to strategize it. You're going to have to think of this as a business. First, let me introduce you to my new series. It's called Humedics. This is another piece. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. You like it? You don't. Anyway, so the most important thing about being an artist is actually making a living out of it, if you want it to be a business. And then most artists will tell you, oh yeah, you can make money, you can do this and some. But that's just the reality is most of the time, especially in the first few years, you're not going to make anything. So it's very important. Put faith in yourself, but do it the right way. Apply a strategy. Don't quit your job just because this is your passion, just because you like this. No, you're going to have to let the finances of your businesses in terms of art speak for itself. Don't leave a job just because you feel like, you're hoping or you're believing that it's going to succeed. No, let it succeed first and then quit. Because most of the times the financial pressure of you actually starting an art business is going to be very difficult for you mentally, physically, and all the stress is it's just basically going to pile up and lead to you not even creating any art in the first place. It's going to be so difficult that you lose passion. That very passion that you started with, you're going to lose that because you're not making money, you're not selling, you're not doing this. So that's the biggest advice I would say. Strategy wise, you're going to need to sell online, put yourself out there, physical affairs, everything, exhibit, talk to people, network. That's the most important thing. I remember at the beginning of this, I was like, you know what? I can do this on my own, right? I don't have to go to like events because I'm an introvert. I don't want to go to different things. I don't want to go to places and network with people. But unfortunately, you're going to have to do that. You're going to have to keep on talking to people. You're even going to be rejected a ton of times. But that's what will build you to keep on going. That's what will eventually keep you in the loop, so to speak, of the people that you need to speak to. So it's very important that you just do keep on going. But you can't keep on going if you're running on fumes. So you need the fuel. And unfortunately, finances and money is what keeps the world going around. So you need that fuel to keep you going in your pursuit. So it's much better to strategize. I know it's, romanticized so much, and especially as an artist, to be a starving artist, that you can do so much things and you just have to follow your passion. Follow your passion. You hear that so many times. But the reality is that doesn't always work out. And for your passion to actually work out, you need to work a normal job. You need to fund it. You need to fuel it somehow, right? And so that's the main fact. You're just not going to make money. And the quicker you accept it, because remember, this is the long game. You're not going to be able to make money in the first few years. Not anything that's, a reliable source of income anyhow. You'll have some sales every now and then, but it's not going to happen in the first few years. That's just the reality of it. I'm not trying to be a downer. I'm not trying to, be negative. I'm just trying to tell you this is the path. And if you're willing to accept the drought, then the flood of blessings and your success will come eventually, but only if you're willing to endure through the drought. And that's the truth of it. That's the only difference between successful artists and people that fail. It's just you have to keep on going, because it's also compound. So there's a term called compound success, and it's just, that means success isn't something that you get all of a sudden. It's from the past, from the little failures you have, the little mishaps, the little rejections. Eventually you learn more and more, and eventually things just pile up into that success. A lot of people think that success just comes up in a silver platter and that's it. No, it's actually from the crumbs of your past meals, proverbially speaking anyway. It's your history, your past, your experiences, the lessons you've learned from. That's actually what builds success, similar to art. For me, for instance, I didn't have any formal education, especially in art, so I was self-taught. I'm an autodidact. Everything that I knew was through YouTube, through online, this and that. So I never really thought I needed that. I kind of skipped that process. But eventually I found myself lacking in the fundamentals of drawing. The draftmanship was not that good, even now. So I'm still learning. It's a process. But you start to see that. So when you look at a lot of the things you're trying to do, especially with the classical portraiture, you see that there's a lot of things that are misaligned. There are a lot of things that not quite proportionally right. So there's little gaps in yourself that you have to develop, and that takes time. That's not going to happen just overnight. And that's what I mean by having that compound success, and that your skill builds up. You're not going to be great overnight. Greatness does not take one night. It takes years, many countless sleepless nights, as a matter of fact. So you have to endure through that. And this whole game of art is a matter of endurance. It's not the people who make it isn't the ones that are the most talented or the best. It's those, similar to every aspect of life, it's those who never stop. And that's what you need to understand in order to be successful in this. And that's what I'm just trying to tell you. I'm not trying to be pessimistic or realistic neither. Like, that's reality, yes, but it doesn't mean you can't hope. I always want you to aspire to do better and to achieve great things. But the reality of the fact is that you're going to have to endure. Once you can endure that, then all the great things are going to be for you, and all the great things will come to you. But that's the truth of being an artist. It's not that you have to starve, but it's that will you love your art enough to be willing to go beyond your physical limitations, to go beyond eating, to go beyond what sustains you physically, and let your spirit and your soul take over. That's the poetic aspect of it. I just wish someone would have told me, in the very beginning, that this is a long run. This is a marathon. This ain't a sprint. As an artist, you're going to have to keep on going. And don't worry about all the other stresses that you're going to have to endure. As long as you keep on going, as long as you keep on painting, you will make it. So this is for everyone, wherever you may be. It will take years. And being impatient as a younger artist, as a kid, I was like, no, I need to succeed now. And having that mentality actually became a detriment to me. Because when I think that I'd have to make money now, I'd have to sell right now, that's when nothing ever sold. That's when nothing ever sold, because I was a beggar, essentially. I was begging for this to be sold, and I was putting so much discount, I was putting so much stress on myself that it was unnecessary. And that worth shows when people can smell that, especially collectors. You be confident in yourself, and once you give yourself enough time, then you'll be able to actually create freely. You won't be subjected to financial pressure. You won't have these timelines and deadlines, or certain aspects where, you've already painted for 5 years or 10 years that you have to sell this much. No, just keep on improving. And there's a saying that this is what I've always said. There's a process and a switch in this journey of being an artist. There's the most pivotal. When you stop asking the question of how long will it take, and make the shift in your mindset and start saying, as long as I'm doing it, that's when everything changes. That's when you start to become successful. There's no pressure. Everything becomes free. Everything flows naturally. Now, I mean, I ain't selling out like, crazy, and I'm making a lot of money, but I'm at a stage now that my art, especially having series and especially my new collection and everything, is becoming a lot more sustainable. And I'm in a place where I can happily say that, I'm happy with my art in terms of as a career. Although I'm not leaving my day job yet, just because it's a good job. Like I have a fairly decent job that pays a good amount of money, so I can't just let go of that entirely. But the goal is for that freedom. You can't just quit a job and say, I just want to do this for my freedom, because at the end of the day, if you don't have money, if you don't have that financial support, and then you do this just for the sake of it, just because it's your passion, eventually it's going to start to constrain you. It's going to start to strangle you, and you will no longer have that freedom. So when you're saying that, like, oh, you're doing your passion for your own freedom, let it actually be free. That means, like, let it hold you. Because if your creative passion and endeavors is what you try to do as a professional career, and if it doesn't support you, it's all going to collapse. It's all going to collapse. And I've been there before, and I know how much you struggle really through it. So don't do that to yourself. That's the greatest advice. I know a lot of artists would tell you, like, oh no, like, you have to quit your job, it's draining you. It's like, nah, stick to it for the meantime, because I've been there. I don't want anyone to go through the things I've endured, because that's tough. Because at the end of the day, hey man, when you have nothing to eat, when you're drowning in the drought, that's tough. And I don't want others to do that. And also your creativity suffers for that anyway. So don't romanticize the starving artist. Hey, I've starved long enough. Trust me, there's no glory in it. But just don't stop. Keep going. Keep doing what you're doing and keep it improving. It's not the money and the success that you should be chasing. It's the progress. Adding the layers is that compound success. And once you understand that, everything becomes easier in art, and everything becomes natural. You'll find your purpose. You'll find your style, your voice in art. I mean, for me to create the Humedics series from here, which is quite popular in the market, it took me, essentially, I've been painting since 2019, so it took me around 6-7 years, really, just to find my style. This isn't even just one of my style. I have plenty more collections. I'm quite diverse, but something that is marketable, something that sells out, something that is, a voice that people and collectors can know you for. Which goes on to my next point, and I'll make a video about it. The most important aspect of being represented, being successful as an artist, which is building a voice and building a collection. That's for another video. Comment down below if you'd like me to make that one. I can definitely make a video of how I got represented by an artist, how I'm managed by an art manager, and all the different nitty-gritty details within the art industry that, trust me, I know this. A lot of artists or people in the art world seem to just gatekeep, and I'm like, come on man, we're always trying to make a living out of this, and it's so tough. People can be selfish sometimes. They don't want other people to succeed, and that ain't me. I've suffered long enough to know how difficult it is. So I just want success for everyone as much as I can. So if you'd like to see that video, for me to make that video, maybe I'll get someone else to talk about it too, a gallerist, and other people in the art industry that are actually quite helpful. You will find them. Yeah, comment down below, let me know, and I'll make a video of that. So hopefully you like this video. Hopefully this doesn't discourage you. That's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to create a realistic strategy for you and to warn you what this is going to be. This ain't going to be easy. This is going to be tough. Trust me, I used to be a boxer, and getting hit in the face is much easier than enduring a career in the art industry. It's definitely tough, especially like trying to make it. It's one of the toughest fields to break through, but don't be discouraged by that. Just keep on going. That's why I'm trying to tell you that this is going to be a battle. I'm trying to prepare you for that battle. This ain't just going to be easy pickings. So get ready to roll your sleeve, strap your boots, and go to war and fight for your dreams. So hope you like that video. My name is Rodolfo III. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and also become a member to help me grow my channel and support my artistic practice as an artist. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.